The night my sister leaned in close enough that her breath brushed my ear and whispered, "Mom doesn't want you here." Something inside me split cleanly in two, right there beneath the ballroom lights with 100 smiling faces watching me pretend not to shatter. Elizabeth stood frozen with a wrapped gift cutting into her palms, the band's brassy tune swelling as applause rolled like a tide around the hotel ballroom. Streamers in navy and silver hung from the ceiling, and a slideshow of our mother's career looped behind the podium. I could hear laughter, forks clinking against plates, the polite murmur of coworkers who had spent decades calling my mother family. None of them saw my sister Denise's smile turn sharp as a blade when she pulled away from me. "You shouldn't have come," Denise said, louder now, just enough to sting. "This is Mom's night." I had driven 6 hours, rehearsing what I'd say, how I'd hug Mom without making a scene. I wore the navy dress she once said brought out my eyes. I told myself the tightness in my chest was just nerves. Denise's eyes flicked to my skin, then away, like she'd brushed against something dirty. Mom was across the room, laughing with her supervisor, gray hair swept into a dignified twist. She looked radiant, proud, untouchable. I raised a hand to wave. She didn't see me, or maybe she chose not to. When Denise added, "Everyone's been asking why you're here," I felt heat crawl up my neck. After everything. After everything meant after I married a black man, after I moved away, after I stopped pretending our family jokes weren't jokes at all. I swallowed. Mom invited me. Denise's smile widened. That's not what she told me. The humiliation was surgical, precise. I stood alone while Denise drifted back into the crowd, already laughing, already forgiven. A coworker brushed past me and said, "Oh, are you with the catering?" then flushed when she realized her mistake. I smiled anyway, because that's what I've always done. I smiled while my chest burned. I left the gift on the empty chair and walked into the bathroom, locking myself in a stall until the music dulled. I stared at my reflection afterward, mascara smudged, jaw clenched. I thought of my mother teaching me to stand tall, to be twice as good. I thought of every holiday where I was told not to bring that up, every time my husband Andre was described as so articulate. I went back out there anyway. I took a seat near the back. I watched Denise accept compliments for holding the family together. I watched Mom take the microphone, voice trembling as she thanked her colleagues for accepting her despite everything. She laughed, they laughed. My stomach dropped. Then Mom said, "Family is complicated," and her gaze slid past me like I wasn't there. But some people make choices. That was when the second half of me hardened. After the party, Denise cornered me by the elevators. "You should go," she said, sweet as syrup. "Don't make this harder." "I didn't," I replied. My voice surprised me. Calm, steady. She snorted. "You always play the victim." The drive back to my hotel was a blur of red lights and old memories. I called Andre from the parking lot. I didn't cry. I told him everything. He listened, the way he always does. And when I finished, he said, "What do you want to do?" "I want the truth," I said, out loud. Over the next week, I stopped pretending this was just about a party. I requested copies of emails Mom had sent me over the years, invitations that never arrived, excuses that contradicted Denise's stories. I called my aunt, who hesitated, then admitted Denise had handled communications for years. I reached out to Mom's coworker Linda, who thought I knew Mom declined my RSVP to avoid awkwardness. I asked what awkwardness meant. Linda paused too long. I found the old family group chat Denise controlled. Messages deleted, threads renamed. I asked my mother directly to meet. She refused, said she was tired. I sent her a calm email outlining what Denise said to me, attaching screenshots, dates, contradictions. I asked for clarity. I asked for honesty. Denise called within minutes, furious. "How dare you drag Mom into this?" "I didn't," I said. "You did." The retirement luncheon follow-up was scheduled for the community center the next Sunday, a smaller affair with speeches and a memory book. Denise was organizing it. I volunteered to help, sweet and unassuming, offering to compile messages from friends and family. Denise agreed, eager to control the narrative. I compiled everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. I included Mom's words about choices, Denise's emails deciding who belonged, the quiet apologies from relatives who'd been told I didn't want to come. I added a letter of my own at the end, measured and devastating about love that shrinks when it's conditional. The day of the luncheon, Denise skimmed the book and smiled. She didn't read it. When Mom opened it in front of everyone, the room shifted. Pages turned, murmurs rose. Linda's hand flew to her mouth. My aunt stared at Denise. Mom's face drained as she reached my letter. "I didn't know," Mom whispered, voice cracking. "I didn't know." Denise tried to laugh it off, but the room had gone quiet in a way that felt like justice. I stood, heart hammering, and said, "I didn't come to embarrass anyone. I came to be seen." Mom looked at me then, really looked. For the first time in years, she saw the cost of her silence. Afterward, she found me by the coffee urn, hands shaking. "I'm sorry," she said. "I let fear make choices for me." "I know," I replied. And I did, but knowing didn't mean forgetting. Denise didn't speak to me as people filed out, eyes lingering on her. Consequences have a sound. It's the absence of applause. Andre met me outside, sunlight warm on my face. I breathed deep. I wasn't lighter, I was solid. That night, Mom called. We talked, really talked, about boundaries and truth and repair. It would take time. It would take work. I was no longer willing to disappear to make it easy. I didn't get revenge the way people imagine it. I didn't raise my voice or scorch the earth. I told the truth where it had been hidden, and I let it stand. Sometimes that's enough.